Did you know that what's on your dinner plate today could decide how steady your steps are tomorrow? It's true. One of the biggest reasons older adults begin to lose their independence isn't memory loss or illness. It's something far more quiet: muscle loss and joint weakness. The simple things, getting out of bed, walking to the mailbox, rising from a chair, become harder, slower, and more painful. But here's the good news: nature has already given us tools to fight back, and they're not in your medicine cabinet, they're in your kitchen. In this article, we'll explore 7 powerful vegetables that do more than just keep you healthy. These specific foods have been shown to protect joints, reduce inflammation, boost circulation, and support strong legs and flexible movement, even well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. You don't need fancy supplements or extreme diets. You just need the right ingredients, chosen carefully, explained clearly, and tailored for your age and your lifestyle. And the best part? These vegetables don't just heal, they bring back the joy of moving freely. So stay with me, because your next step might be stronger than you think. Let's begin. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. Spinach, the gentle muscle builder. Did you know that losing strength in your legs after age 60 is not just a part of getting old, but a condition that can be slowed, even reversed, with the right nutrients? Spinach, a quiet, leafy green many of us have known since childhood, holds one of nature's most powerful secrets for seniors: the ability to nourish and preserve muscle as we age. You see, after the age of 50, we lose roughly 1% of our muscle mass every year, a process known as sarcopenia. For older adults, especially those who live alone or are less active, this decline can lead to weaker legs, balance issues, and dangerous falls. But spinach offers us a chance to fight back. Rich in magnesium, potassium, and plant-based nitrates, spinach helps your muscles stay active and responsive. Magnesium supports your nerves and muscles to function correctly, while potassium balances fluid and helps prevent painful cramps. The natural nitrates in spinach improve blood flow, especially to the legs, where circulation often slows down with age. Better blood flow means more oxygen reaching your muscles, helping them recover, stay strong, and reduce fatigue after activity, even something as simple as walking to the kitchen or climbing the stairs. Let me tell you about Mr. Harold, an 82-year-old retired postman who came to see me last fall. He had recently begun needing a walker around the house and felt his legs just weren't listening anymore. He thought it was inevitable, but we made a few key changes, one of them being the addition of a daily handful of steamed spinach. Within 3 months, Harold's balance had improved noticeably. He began using his walker less inside the home and could even manage short outdoor walks again, something he hadn't done in over a year. "It's like I've got life in my legs again," he told me, tears welling up. "And all I did was start eating something I used to feed my kids." Stories like Harold's remind us that health is not always about pills or procedures. Sometimes it's about returning to simple foods with profound power. Spinach doesn't act like a miracle overnight, but over time it works gently and steadily, like a friend that quietly supports you every day. So the next time you're planning a meal, think of spinach not just as a vegetable, but as a building block of your independence. And if spinach can help build strong, flexible muscles, what food can soothe aching, inflamed joints after a long day on your feet? Let's turn to the next healing gift: a warm, comforting root that might surprise you. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number one below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number two. Two, sweet potatoes, nature's comfort food for joints. There's something about sweet potatoes that feels like home, warm, familiar, and healing. For many older adults, joint stiffness is one of the most frustrating and persistent challenges of aging. Whether it's the knees that ache when you get out of bed or the hips that groan after a short walk, the pain often feels like it's just part of getting older. But it doesn't have to be that way. Sometimes the solution begins at the dinner table with a simple sweet potato. What most people don't realize is that sweet potatoes are packed with anti inflammatory compounds, especially beta carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A. This vitamin plays a critical role in reducing chronic inflammation, one of the root causes of joint pain, stiffness, and even progression of osteoarthritis, a condition affecting over 30 million Americans, the majority of them over age 60. Sweet potatoes also contain vitamin C, which helps the body produce collagen, a protein essential to keeping your joints flexible and cushioned. Combine that with their high levels of potassium and fiber, and you have a natural way to reduce swelling, improve circulation, and even support blood pressure, something that often ties into joint and mobility issues. Let me share the story of Mrs. Dolores, a 76-year-old widow and former school teacher who had quietly suffered from arthritis in her knees for nearly a decade. She told me she had stopped going to her weekly bridge game simply because it was too painful to sit, too hard to stand up again. I remember her clearly saying, "Doc, it's like my knees have betrayed me." After reviewing her diet, we made some simple shifts. One of them was swapping processed carbs with baked sweet potatoes several times a week. Within weeks, Dolores noticed that her morning stiffness had improved. A month later, she no longer dreaded getting out of bed. She even returned to her game nights. "I didn't think food could make that much of a difference," she told me, "but I guess the right kind of comfort food really does heal." Sweet potatoes aren't just delicious, they're emotional. They offer warmth, nourishment, and a reminder that health can still be found in everyday moments. For seniors who want not just relief from pain, but the return of small joys, walking without fear, standing without help, sweet potatoes are a beautiful beginning. But what if there was a vegetable that didn't just ease the pain, but actually helped protect and rebuild the very structure of your joints and bones? Let's move to the next green miracle, a vegetable that guards your cartilage like armor. 3. Broccoli, the bone and cartilage protector. There's a quiet strength in broccoli that mirrors the kind of strength many older adults strive to maintain. Not loud or showy, but solid, steady, and deeply rooted. As we age, one of the greatest concerns isn't just muscle loss or sore joints, it's the gradual weakening of our bones and the silent wearing down of cartilage that cushions our joints. It's the fear of falls, fractures, or joints that simply won't move the way they used to. And yet, right there on your dinner plate, broccoli may be one of the most powerful protectors against those very risks. Broccoli is especially rich in vitamin K and calcium, both essential for maintaining bone density, a critical issue for seniors. Low bone density leads to conditions like osteopenia and osteoporosis, which drastically increase the chance of hip fractures, vertebral compression, and the inability to recover from simple accidents. Vitamin K helps your body bind calcium to the bones, making them stronger and more resistant to breakage. In older adults, this is not just helpful, it can be life-saving. But broccoli's benefits go beyond bones. It contains a compound called sulforaphane, a powerful antioxidant with anti-inflammatory and cartilage protective properties. This compound helps slow down the breakdown of cartilage, especially in weight-bearing joints like the knees and hips, where many older adults experience chronic discomfort. Keeping that cartilage intact means better movement, less grinding, and less pain when standing, walking, or getting out of a chair. I recall one patient, Mr. Frank, a 79-year-old retired mechanic who prided himself on being able to fix just about anything, except, as he joked, his own knees. He came to see me because he had been told he might need a knee replacement, but he wasn't ready for surgery. We started with a few dietary changes, including adding broccoli 3 to 4 times a week, either steamed or roasted with garlic. After 3 months, his joint stiffness had improved so much that he put off the surgery indefinitely. He told me, "Turns out I just needed a little oil in the engine. Who knew it had come from green veggies?" Broccoli isn't just about physical repair, it's about preserving freedom and dignity. It's the kind of food that helps you get out of bed without bracing yourself, stand up without needing help, and walk without that dreaded crunch in your knees. And if broccoli can strengthen your bones and guard your joints, what if there were a vegetable that actually helped restore the flow of life through your legs, bringing energy and oxygen back where it's most needed? Let me introduce you to a bold, beautiful root that does just that and more. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. 4. Beets, the circulation champion. There's something striking about the deep red color of beets. It almost looks like life itself, flowing with energy. And for older adults, especially those struggling with fatigue, heavy legs, or cold feet, that image isn't far from the truth. Healthy circulation is essential to aging well, and yet it's often overlooked. Poor blood flow doesn't just affect your heart, it also robs your legs of strength, starves your joints of oxygen, and slows your body's ability to heal after activity. Beets, humble as they may seem, offer one of the most powerful natural remedies to keep your blood moving and your legs alive with energy. Beets are rich in natural nitrates, which the body converts into nitric oxide, a compound that widens blood vessels, lowers blood pressure, and improves the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to muscles and joints. For seniors, especially those with peripheral artery disease, PAD, or simply reduced mobility, this improved circulation can make the difference between a sluggish, difficult day and one filled with vitality and freedom. One of my patients, Mrs. Lillian, age 81, came to see me last year complaining that her legs felt like sandbags. She had no diagnosed disease, but her walking endurance had dropped significantly and her legs would tire after just 5 minutes. I suggested a few changes. One of them was introducing roasted beets and beet juice into her weekly routine. Within 6 weeks, she called to tell me she'd walked a full lap around her local park without needing to sit down. "Doctor," she said, "I didn't feel heavy. I felt light, like my legs had life in them again." From a medical standpoint, this is not surprising. Improved circulation means better nutrient delivery to aging muscles, faster recovery after exertion, and reduced risk of leg cramps or swelling, common problems for many seniors. And because beets are also high in folate, iron, and vitamin C, they support red blood cell production and overall vascular health in ways that few vegetables can. Beets aren't just food, they're a flow of vitality, helping your body move with ease and recover with strength. They bring color not just to your plate, but to your day. But circulation is just one piece of the puzzle. What if there were a vegetable that goes deep into the root of joint pain itself, helping calm inflammation before it ever has a chance to take hold? Let's talk about a tiny vegetable with a mighty purpose, one that fights joint pain at its core. 5. Brussels sprouts, the tiny warriors against inflammation. When it comes to aging gracefully, one of the most invisible yet damaging forces we face is chronic inflammation, a slow internal fire that wears down our joints, stiffens our limbs, and leaves many older adults waking up sore, stiff, and frustrated. But what if something as small as a Brussels sprout could help calm that fire, giving your body a chance to feel light, mobile, and free again? Brussels sprouts may be tiny, but they are packed with some of the most powerful anti inflammatory compounds in the plant world. For seniors, especially those with arthritis or lingering joint pain, this matters more than you might realize. These vegetables contain vitamin C, which supports the production of collagen, the very substance that keeps your joints cushioned and flexible. They're also an excellent source of vitamin K, which helps reduce inflammation and supports bone health by working synergistically with calcium. But what makes Brussels sprouts truly special is their content of glucosinolates, natural compounds that help detoxify the body and reduce the oxidative stress that contributes to joint pain and stiffness. For older adults managing arthritis, gout, or even past injuries that never fully healed, reducing that hidden inflammation is one of the most effective steps toward lasting relief. I remember clearly a gentleman named Mr. Calvin, a 74-year-old former firefighter who came into my clinic after nearly giving up on walking his dog each morning. "I love that pup," he told me, "but my knees scream every time I bend down to hook the leash." Calvin had been on and off various anti-inflammatory medications, but he wanted something more natural. We discussed a few changes, and one simple step was incorporating Brussels sprouts into his weekly meals, roasted, steamed, even sautéed. Within 2 months, Calvin was walking longer distances again and with much less pain. "They don't look like much," he chuckled, "but I swear those sprouts are fighting for me." What Calvin experienced was not just hope, it was science in action. Reducing inflammation doesn't have to mean more pills. It can start with food that quietly goes to work, helping you rise from your chair, ease into your day, and reclaim the little movements that make life meaningful. Brussels sprouts may be small, but they offer big relief. And for older adults, that kind of quiet strength can mean everything. Now, if these tiny green warriors can help put out the fire of inflammation, what kind of vegetable could actually help rebuild the very tissue your joints are made of and keep you bending and stretching with comfort? Let's turn our attention to a dark, leafy giant that nourishes not just your joints, but your entire future. 6. Kale, the longevity leaf. As we age, longevity takes on a new meaning. It's no longer just about living longer, but about living well. With clear movement, strong bones, flexible joints, and the confidence to keep doing what you love. Few vegetables serve this purpose better than kale, often called a superfood. But for older adults, it's more than just a trendy green. Kale is a leaf of resilience, rich in the exact nutrients your body needs to maintain strength, prevent injury, and preserve independence. Kale is a top source of calcium, vitamin K, and vitamin C, a trifecta for bone and joint health. Unlike dairy, which some seniors find hard to digest, kale provides plant-based calcium that helps maintain bone density without contributing to inflammation. This is critical in the prevention of osteoporosis, a disease that affects over 10 million Americans, most of them women over 65. Alongside this, vitamin K supports proper calcium absorption and reduces the risk of bone fractures, one of the leading causes of long-term disability in older adults. But kale goes even deeper. It's rich in alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that calms the silent inflammation that can eat away at your joints over time. and its high antioxidant content supports cellular repair, helping protect your body from oxidative stress, which accelerates aging in tissues, including those in your knees, hips, and spine. One story that stands out is Ms. Helen, a 68-year-old retired librarian who came to me worried about her growing stiffness and balance issues. She wasn't in pain, but she could feel her body slowing. She said, "I want to keep dancing at my granddaughter's birthday, not just watch from the chair." We worked together on her diet, and I encouraged her to add kale regularly, lightly sautéed, blended into smoothies, or even baked into chips. A few months later, she shared a video of herself dancing, smiling, upright, and strong. "The kale's working," she laughed, "and so are my knees." For older adults, kale isn't just a leafy green, it's a signal to the body. Keep going. Stay strong. You're not done yet. It rebuilds the very foundation we stand on, bone, collagen, and muscle, and nourishes them with every bite. And now that we've nourished your bones, strengthened your joints, and calmed inflammation, what if there was one final vegetable that brings it all together, helping you move, stretch, and smile with every step? Let's take a closer look at one vibrant root that supports not just your joints, but the joy in your movement. 7. Carrots, the joyful mobility supporter. There's something cheerful and comforting about a carrot. Its vibrant orange color, its crunch, its familiar sweetness. But beyond its friendly appearance lies a quiet power, especially for older adults hoping to protect their mobility and live actively in the years ahead. Carrots may seem simple, but they support one of the most essential functions of healthy aging, moving freely and without pain. Carrots are incredibly rich in beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin a nutrient vital for tissue repair and joint health. Vitamin A supports the integrity of the synovial membrane, the thin layer that lines and lubricates your joints. When this membrane stays healthy, your joints move more smoothly with less friction and stiffness. For seniors living with osteoarthritis or simply noticing more soreness after everyday activities, this small action inside the body makes a big difference in daily comfort. Carrots are also loaded with antioxidants, particularly lutein and zeaxanthin, which protect against cellular aging, not only in your eyes, but also in connective tissues throughout your body. Their mild natural sugars help fuel energy gently, which is important for older adults managing blood sugar and staying active without fatigue. Let me tell you about Mr. Thomas, a 72-year-old widower who came to me after noticing that his legs felt creaky every morning. He joked that it took him 10 minutes to stand up straight after getting out of bed. We looked at his diet, which lacked color, mainly beige foods, he admitted. I encouraged him to add more orange and red vegetables, starting with carrots. Within 2 months of daily inclusion, raw with lunch, roasted with dinner, he noticed he was waking up with less stiffness and better energy. "My grandkids noticed first," he told me. "I beat them to the front door." For older adults, carrots symbolize something powerful, the return of small joys. The ability to walk down the driveway, reach into the pantry, or stretch in the morning without wincing. That kind of movement doesn't require dramatic interventions. It often starts with something as humble and bright as a carrot. And if all these vegetables can help protect your muscles, rebuild your joints, and restore your steps, what happens when you bring them together into one simple, lasting lifestyle? Let's close by bringing everything full circle and talk about how you can make these healing foods a part of your daily rhythm so you don't just survive, but truly thrive in every season of your life. Your steps still matter, and so does what you eat. If you've read this far, it means one thing: you care deeply about your independence, your health, and your future. And that matters, because in a world that often forgets the wisdom and worth of older adults, you've chosen not to fade quietly. You've chosen to take ownership of your well being. Over the years, your legs have carried you through decades of life. They've walked beside loved ones, climbed steps toward your dreams, and stood firm during hard times. And now they deserve to be supported, nourished with the right foods that protect your muscles, joints, and mobility. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. Spinach builds and maintains muscle strength. Sweet potatoes soothe aching joints with natural anti-inflammatory compounds. Broccoli strengthens bones and protects fragile cartilage. Beets improve circulation, bringing oxygen to tired legs. Brussels sprouts fight joint inflammation at its root. Kale nourishes bones and joints for long-term resilience. Carrots protect the tissue that lets you move with ease. These aren't just vegetables, they are tools of longevity, movement, and dignity. You don't need to overhaul your life or become a nutrition expert. Just take one small step. Add a few of these healing foods into your weekly meals. Cook with intention, eat with joy, and know that every bite is building a stronger, more vibrant version of you. Remember, aging isn't about slowing down. It's about choosing wisely, living intentionally, and surrounding yourself with what your body truly needs. You've spent a lifetime giving to others. Now it's time to give something back to yourself: strength, comfort, and freedom in your own body. So go ahead, stand tall, walk proud, and know this: your journey isn't over. In fact, it may just be getting stronger, one vegetable at a time. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.